5, 4, 3, 2.
Tier 1 Performance.
Welcome back to the In and Out Talks podcast, guys, powered by Tier 1 Performance. Today's special guest is going to be Dre Nelson. He's a previous guest of ours. We're honored to have him back on the show. Former professional baseball player with a ton of insight, an expert on hitting, fielding, anything you need baseball-wise. Dre, welcome back to the show, brother.
I appreciate you having me back, man. I love it. I love everything that's been going on. So excited to be back with the new mantra.
Absolutely, dude. So it's an honor to have you back. A lot of things have changed in your life, in our life since we've had you back on. We're going to get into all that today. First and foremost, we're no longer an amateur hour with the old school cameras and the iPhone.
Yep.
I mean, we got some better upgrades, and
Yes.
You're a father now, dude.
I am.
So, father.
That's crazy.
Yes, which is awesome. A baby girl,
man.
and man. So tell us about. I think when we last spoke, we talked about you going into your final season of pro ball. And I want you to kind of reflect upon your experience, your last year playing professional baseball, how that was for you emotionally on and off the field, and where you're at today.
Oh, man, it was tremendously amazing just to be able to experience pro ball because, again, a lot of guys can't really get to experience that. So it's like being able to have those experiences and learn from those experiences, build new relationships, meet new people, everything like that, expand my portfolio just outside of the playing aspect. Because again, like once these kids or once these parents heard that I was playing, they want to get lessons and stuff like that with me. They want their kids to come and work with me. So it's like being able to build off of that. It's been tremendously amazing. And then on top of that, having my daughter, it's like, oh, wow, like this is real life stuff now to where, okay, when I have my daughter, it was like, well, I'm not just a husband anymore. Like, I'm also a father on top of that. But again, I've always been a provider. So it's like being able to have her on top of that has pushed me even more to being a provider for my family. But it's like, it's an amazing experience. I thank God every single day for it. Because again, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's like being able to have that little girl, seeing her every morning, seeing her every night, going to sleep, waking up, is tremendously amazing to be able to continue to push. Because again, like most athletes after retirement, it's like, what do? They just start drinking, going crazy and stuff like that. But it's like, I couldn't do that to her. Like, just because I didn't get to where I wanted to get to doesn't mean I can push it on her. So it's like, now having her, and she's so freaking sweet, man. She's getting so much bigger. She's a year old now, so it's been that long. Oh my God. Awesome. She's been able to definitely like understand like what I do as a dad and as a husband, to be able to understand like, okay, this is daddy. Daddy's gonna be going around this town because he has to go work, make sure we have a roof over our head, and it's just tremendously amazing to be able to see that. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. It's giving your life such a purpose. I mean, you got a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. You're one of the hardest working guys that me and Jordan know, so it's always inspiring to kind of see you hustle and work like you do, man. So
for sure, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you're on to great things. And so going into pro ball your last season, how did it feel? I mean, how much did you learn that last season? And how are you applying it into your everyday lessons and how you teach kids now?
So definitely this last season, it helped me a lot just to be able to understand of like, again, I'm still human at the end of the day. Like, be human. You're nothing wrong with that. You're human, just accept it and keep moving on. Definitely put a lot of pressure on myself that I didn't need, just due to the fact that, again, this was my first time being away from my daughter, playing ball, doing this, doing that, dealt with a lot of injuries. And so it was like with me and my mindset of, well, I'm so far away from my daughter, I'm not going to be up here and not play ball. Like, regardless of the injury, I'm going to go up here and play ball. But on top of that, it definitely hurt my numbers. So it was like learning that and experiencing that. It's something that I'm able to go back and tell my kids, like, hey, if you're hurt, you're hurt. Like, it's okay. Yes. God is saying take time off so you can get back healthy. So, again, it doesn't harm you in the future. Because, again, like with me, I had a sprained ankle, a UCL in my elbow, a bruised hand, a bunch of stuff that definitely like can play a part in how I react and how I play on the field.
Right.
And it's like understanding that, okay, like when I was hurt, I should have just stayed off because my numbers were where they needed to be while I wasn't hurt. So it was like it only worsened everything whenever I got hurt, and I kept fighting to try to get back in there instead of letting God take his course and being patient. Just learning like, okay, well, later down the road, if this is something that a kid's going through, I need to be able to help them get through that and let them know that it is okay to take some time off. It's not going to hurt you. If anything, it's going to hurt you worse to continue to try to play on it. Now, let's get this correct, though. When you're in a championship game or something like of that era, then, all right, we got to fight through it.
Correct.
But in that moment, this is just regular season stuff, and I'm fighting through it, and it's worsening everything to where it's like, okay, now I'm hurting myself, and I didn't want to do that. But I had to learn the hard way. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
So being able to experience that is definitely something that has taught me to listen to my body a lot more, and also be able to help the kids that come up under me, teaching them how to listen to their body as well. Because, again, if you're hurt, be hurt. It's okay. Like, don't go out there trying to do it even more because you might, one, hurt yourself even more, and two, you might hurt your numbers where they need to be, and now you're really in a tougher situation. Because, again, like later towards the season, when everything was a lot more healthier, everything wasn't, like nothing was hurting, I was all the way healthy, 110%. I was at, I want to say, batting average of 174, and within that week, nothing was hurting, nothing was wrong with me. I jumped up my average to 213 within a week. Right. Like literally had about 4 games, like 3 to 4 games, 3 for 4, 1 for 3 with a home run, like 3 for 4, 2 for 3, 2 for 5, like whatever the case may be. My numbers jumped up due to the fact that I was healthy. I was ready to go. And it's like just witnessing that, it said a lot. Like, hey, whenever you're healthy, dude, like you're really good to go. And look down the road, looked at my past experiences with the Angels and things like that. I tore my rotator cuff, tried to battle through that. That didn't help me as well. And I literally asked my wife, I'm like, hey, before I got hurt, any level where I was at, where was my numbers at? She was like, that was really high. Like, you were doing really well, hitting home runs, hitting doubles off the wall, like stealing bases, catching fly, like doing all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing anyway, that they pay you to freaking do. Right. Yes. And being able to like understand that, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, whenever I got injured, like, what was your experiences from there, just on the outside view of it? And she was like, it definitely hurt you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So every time I got injured, I didn't sit out. And that's where I got hurt. And she was like, yeah.
And that's such valuable advice for the athletes that you work with now, dude. Because it's like, they're stubborn. Yeah. We're stubborn. But you played to the age of 25. You played a lot longer than most people do. Yeah. And so you have the experience and that you're able to pass that along to them, man. And like, I know you deal with kids as young as 6 and as old as college, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you've got a good variation there. But with your high school athletes, how would you say, like, how important are rest days while you're playing? Like, how often do you recommend that they take a break from playing, I guess, like, from lifting weights, from pushing their body to the limit because injuries can occur? So I say, depending on whatever your schedule is, because I have kids that, all of my kids are in high school now. They're playing high school ball. So their game days, especially in Texas, you got 2 game days, but this is starting off with the tournaments. Yes. So you have tournaments during the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You probably have 2 games each day. So it's the understanding of what are we doing before that? Resting. Getting ready to go for those amount of games during that weekend. So being able to let them know, like, hey, whenever we're doing this, you got to make sure that you take the time to understand you're going to have to get ready for a 3-day weekend. Ain't no telling how many games are going to be involved with that. Ain't no telling how many hours are going to be involved with that. So it's like understanding, like, hey, you got to be able to take your time to be able to make sure that everything is ready to go for those games. Yes. Because you don't want to be at your worst. You want to be at your best. So that's where I go with that. 100%, because most of the time in high school and college, you're playing about 4 games a week. Yes. a weekday, like a Tuesday night, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So especially early in the season for high school, they have tournaments.
Yeah.
So how many days a week should high schoolers, in your opinion, be lifting and I guess doing like sprint, speed, and agility work?
In season or out?
In season.
In season, I would say, so let's just go off the 7 days we got. Sunday, officially off.
Okay.
Don't touch a bat. Don't touch a weight. If you got to go to church, recuperate, go to church. But Sundays, I say completely are off. Reason why is because, again, you're so busy from Monday to Saturday.
Right.
Depending on what your schedule's looking like, what practice schedule's looking like, whatever's going on throughout that week, you got to understand, like, okay, time management is very, very crucial. So you got to understand, like, okay, well, you got morning weights, then you got school, then you got class, baseball class, softball class, whatever the case may be. And then you got practice after that on top of that. Okay, what are you doing in between those hours of after practice and then whatever you're doing for the rest of the day? What are you doing between those hours? Are you going to get extra work in? What are you going to do to get the extra work? Are you going extra, like, are you going to lift crazy heavy that night? Or are you going to lift just a little bit just to keep your hip mobility and things like that intact? Little stuff like that, just to be able to understand of, okay, whenever you're training, whenever you're doing stuff throughout the week, you got to be able to, again, have time management of what you're trying to do and understand that you need to listen to your body. Because if you don't listen to your body, it's like, well, now you're putting yourself in harm's way. Because, yeah, you say, for instance, you have a lift day on Monday. And in my opinion, it is not the smartest thing to freaking go and lift heavy on a Monday when you literally have a game on Tuesday. Because, again, you're going to be sore, your body's not going to be well rested, and you're probably not going to be as effective as you should be for that game. And then, again, who are you also hurting? Your team, because you're not at 100%. So it's like being able to, again, understand, like, what's going on that week, what you've done. In my opinion, what you've done in the off season will overturn all of that. Because, again, if you've done all the work that you're supposed to do in the off season, you ain't got to stress about, oh, I got to get up at 6 a.m. to get my running in and things like that. Because, again, your main focus in off season was to get prepared for season.
This habit should be in check.
Exactly. So all of that stuff should already be ready to go, so you don't have to stress and overdo yourself in season because your main focus is the games.
I couldn't agree more. And we tell these kids, like, hey, you have to prepare for your upcoming seasons, like you said. And we were just talking about this before the podcast started, is like the independence of these high school kids.
Yes.
It's like, hey, when you get to the college and pro level, nobody's babysitting you. Nobody's telling you, like, nobody's holding your hand through the process of, like, lifting weights, waking up, going to class. Dude, like, that's all on you.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess I want you to emphasize and really touch on is, like, how important is these kids to do their own research, to do their own due diligence, to be independent?
So especially with that, it's honestly dependent on, like, who you go to. Because, again, this day and age, what do kids do? YouTube. We don't truly know if that guy on the other screen on YouTube has actually went through the trials and errors of where you're trying to get to. So it's like being able to understand, like, who's behind that camera, if they actually have a like certain, let's say, a certain interest in actually helping you, they wouldn't be just behind that camera. They would be individually helping you, making sure that you get your workouts done, your hitting drills done, your nutrition, your mental drills done. Because, again, people forget about the mental side of this, like, especially with baseball and any sport in general. But you have to be, in baseball, so mentally tough to where it's like you aren't afraid and you can't let anything break you. Because if you let something break you in baseball, it's done, in my opinion. Like, you're going to be burned out. You're going to be done. You're not going to play the ball anymore because you're going to fail. I had to explain this to a kid yesterday. You are going to fail. You are going to suck. It's not going to be the best every single day. But it is up to you to determine how you're going to go about it. And so being able to understand that is, okay, well, whenever they're looking through YouTube, any content of people who feel as if they know they're talking about, I hope they do, if they have the balls enough to get on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and talk to a kid and try to help a kid. I hope they know what they're talking about. I hope they're understanding that this is not just them making money. This is people that you're actually trying to help. But if you're not really, really putting the right information out there in general, you could possibly lead that kid to injury. So it's like watching out for that, making sure that the kids understand, like, let's do a little research on that person, not on the YouTube site.
I agree.
Because again, like, if you understand that, hey, this guy played X amount of years in pro ball, X amount of years in the bigs, X amount of years in college, then you can see, like, okay, well, he was doing something right. Let me figure out what that is, because it might help me out. And then we go down that line. So it's like being able to help kids, like with me, like with social media and stuff like that, I'm really big on expanding my portfolio, like not just in Texas, but outside of Texas as well. Because again, when I was playing in Michigan, Arizona, Florida, all those areas, I had kids that remember me from those times. So it's like being able to get back out there and reach out back to them and help them out the best way I can through a phone call or something like that. It's something beneficial because, again, like, they trust me. They know my rapport of this guy played so many years in pro ball. He kind of knows what he's talking about a little bit.
So you recommend finding someone who's not only been there, done that, has the resume to back it, has the experience of coaching as well. Because like we all know guys who might have played at a high level,
yes,
but they don't have the coaching knowledge and experience, right? They don't know how to break it down. They just know how to do it.
Yes. And
vice versa, you got some guys who might know pretty well, like how to teach hitting, how to teach fielding, but maybe they didn't do it at a very high level. So it's good to find some sort of middle ground, right?
And then we can go on that too, because I have had people, again, maybe went to like junior college or whatever, right? That was about the end of their career, but they're tremendous coaches. Now, again, on top of that, we look deeper, look into that coach's report, look into that coach's resume of who he's helped get to where they needed to get to. If this coach who's helped kids get to SECs, Big 12, stuff like that, or in general, a college to go play at the next level, he knows something.
Correct.
He might not have done it at the highest level, but he's obviously understanding something to help a kid get to the higher level. That's a different part of the coaching versus the player. But when you have both, I feel like the sky's the limit. Because, again, it's like you've done it. And so most of my kids, like, I even just mess with them. I'm like, listen, you don't understand it? No, sir, I don't understand it. Okay, I can show you better than I can tell you. That's where that part comes in.
Yes.
And so it's like, on top of that, I can also show them how it needs to be done, let alone be able to explain to them how it needs to be done, which is amazingly helpful in both ways if you know how to do it in both ways.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And I also want to kind of touch on, the tools and gadgets that are used for hitting drills and things of that nature on YouTube. What works in your opinion? What doesn't work? What's like a gimmick? What would be useful for young kids, high schoolers, college guys to actually be utilizing? Because we all know that these guys are trying to make a buck on YouTube with some of these gadgets, right? How much of that is actually used at the pro level? How much of that should be used by kids?
So, two things that we for sure used when I was at the Angels, Rapsodo and Connect with the little sensor at the bottom of the bat.
Yes.
Those two things right there were very beneficial for my career. So that's why those two objects right there are the only ones I really, truly ever recommend, because they've worked and I've seen them work in firsthand. So I say Rapsodo, and then that Connect little thing that's at the end of the bat that you can wrap on the knob. Those two right there is something that can definitely get you really good numbers, get you to where you need to be a lot faster, if that makes sense. Yes. Because again, I'm not big on numbers, but if they can help a certain kid, do it. Because again, that kid is already so much more advanced to where they don't need to sit here and work on the basics all day, because they already done that, already went through that. They need some numbers, they need some results so they can actually get to where, let's say, the college scout is needing them to get to. So say, for instance, the college scout is saying, hey, I need your exit velocity consistently. Every single ball you put in play needs to be over 90 miles per hour. Okay. How can we incorporate that? Rapsodo. Because again, you can get on that machine, you can get, or you can get with somebody throwing to you, live VPs, stuff like that. No matter what ball you hit, curveball, fastball, changeup, whatever it is, every single ball you hit, if it's over 90, we're doing something right. And that's why I say that Rapsodo and stuff like that can definitely get you where it needs to be. But again, you got to know who's actually using that stuff. because people buy it because they have all the money in the world to do it.
Right.
And it's like, well, do you even truly know what this is meant for? Do you know what this is supposed to do to help? Or are you just reading what it's supposed to do and then, it's supposed to say this, it's supposed to look like this, and that's it. But you don't have any like personality behind that. You don't have any experience behind that. So now you're just saying this, saying that. Well, how are you going to help the kid?
Right.
That's the biggest part. That's what frustrates me as a coach, because it's like, again, I don't mind doing the Rapsodo stuff. Like, again, I'm not big on the numbers, but if it helps that individual, then let's do it.
Because it gives you instant feedback, right? And just so our viewers know, the Rapsodo and the Connect, those are just tools that show you exit velocity,
Yes.
launch angle, etc., things of that nature, like more of analytical things.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, if kids are working on that weeks on end, it's like they can see the trajectory at how they're getting better.
For sure. And that's one of the things too, because again, like with the Rapsodo, it gives you a field. It gives you a field of actually like where you're hitting the ball and how you're hitting the ball. So one thing that I like about the Rapsodo is whenever I get in Rapsodo, you have like the big old flat screen, and then you have the actual like kiosk or whatever. On the flat screen, it's the actual field of like many little players on the field. You can put it up to high school, college, and then pro level, to where now you know, okay, when a ball is hit like this in this direction, it's for sure a base hit. But in hindsight, you really don't know that, but you're going off of that because that's the only thing you have access to. But it gives you really good feedback of, okay, when you hit the ball this way, when you hit the ball this way. Like for me, I didn't know this until I hit the Rapsodo. I hit the ball extremely, extremely hard, more consistent times on the right side than I did on the left side. But I hit the ball with further power to the left side, if that makes sense.
Like further distance, but better exit velo to the right side.
Yes.
I did see you hit some Apo Taco home runs last season. Yeah, you sent me. I was like, dang, that ball got out in a hurry.
That was the whole thing about it too. And I also had a goal written down that I wanted to get at least one Apo home run that year. And I did it.
Yep.
So being able to understand, like, man, like that is truly, truly like amazing to be able to witness, because I never knew that without the Rapsodo. So the Rapsodo helped me out in certain ways that I didn't know, which was tremendously amazing for my career. But I would have never known that I hit the balls harder to the right side than I do the left side. I just hit them better. I catch them better going to the left side. And it's like, again, you can see it, because again, like when I hit my home runs to the left side, there are a lot more moonshots. They're not getting over the wall quick.
Right.
But on the right side, if I do get one over, they're getting over quick. So it was like just being able to witness that and understand that, like, hey, you never truly know until you get on that stuff. But when you're first starting out, I don't recommend it, because now you're going to be so focused on numbers, you're not going to get your actual reps in.
Yes.
And that's where it comes into play of, what are we actually utilizing this for? Because again, with me, if I were to do the Rapsodo, I'm going to do my drills. I'm going to do everything that I need to do to get out the way first. And then let's get to the Rapsodo. Let's find those numbers. Let's see what we've been working on that entire lesson, that entire day. Let's see what it shows now. And then we go from there with all the craziness with the Rapsodo and Connect.
I couldn't agree more. And so as far as, like, I guess the toys are concerned, right? Like, you got the rope bats, you got all these other instruments that you can use, right? It obviously depends on the individual.
Yes.
But, like, what are some of the tools that you like to use whenever you're giving lessons, for example? And, like, I know it's based on, like, what the kid's weakness is. Mm-hmm. So give me an example of, like, a tool that you would use for a certain weakness.
So, plain and simple, I would get, like, a dodgeball.
Okay.
Most kids are very confused when I bring a dodgeball in because they think I'm going to hit them with it, which is hilarious to me.
Sometimes you got
But, hey, sometimes, just to get them in check. But it's like I bring that dodgeball, and I use it for multiple different things. Whenever they're righty or lefty, depending on which side they're on, if I know that they cast out a lot, if I know they extend out too much, okay, well, if you put the dodgeball right under your elbow, you cannot extend out too soon, because now it's letting me know as the coach and as the player that you're casting out immediately. But you're not going to understand that when there's no ball under you. So this whole time, I don't argue with children, but this whole time you're trying to argue back with me and say, well, I'm not casting out. okay, let's put the ball under your elbow. Let's see if you are. And I'm going to explain what this ball does and how it can affect you if you do it the correct way versus the wrong way. If you do it the wrong way, the ball will drop right in front of you and it won't go forward. Reason why is because if you drop it right in front of you, that means that you let go of let go of the ball, and we're getting fully extended already, and we're already casting out. That's wrong. We don't want to do that, or we're going to have trouble hitting the outside pitch, which was my problem when I was in high school. Now, with the dodgeball, also you can put it front elbow, you can put it on the top of the bat right here, or on your shoulder, to where now it's controlling the kid's hands of not moving so much. Because now your hands are here. The ball's right here. Your bat is holding the ball. You can't do all this crazy wiggling and going crazy, which is getting you in trouble anyway, causing you to be late anyway. With this ball right here, you have to be really calm, really quiet with your bat. And now I have more trust in you to where you're creating lesser movements to get to the baseball a lot faster, or softball a lot faster for my girls. But whenever this ball is on your shoulder and you're holding it here, you have to do one thing and that's it. Get straight to the baseball or softball. There's no in between. There's no wasted movements. And that right there has tremendously helped a lot of my kids hit the ball 10 times better.
Be direct.
Yeah.
And that's something simple that anybody can do at home.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's great advice, great feedback. And then, because I've seen you take kids that like had no business being on the baseball field, and within like a pretty short amount of time, within a 6 to 12 month span, you're turning them into like all stars in their little leagues.
I tried to.
And so, how often do you recommend kids that they should hit throughout the week?
So I recommend, depending on what time of the year it is.
Right.
Because that is very dependable.
Okay.
Off season, because again, we're getting ready to go in season, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But off season, I say six days a week, at least for one time a day.
Okay.
If you're doubling that up, which is what I did last year, I doubled up every single day. Monday through Friday, 2 times a day. Morning hit, night hit. Reason why is because this is what I was doing it for, was to get my body adapted to morning games, night games. So my body is always constantly ready to go, no matter what time of the day it is. Because again, we don't play in between games. We either play early games or night games. So I was like, I already knew my schedule. I already knew what I was getting ready to look to whenever I got in the season. Morning games, night games. So what does my schedule look like in the off season to get ready for that? Well, whenever I wake up morning, 9 a.m., workouts, go to 10, get done 10. From 10, I go to hit. From there, I'm done resting, eating, getting my meal preps in, all that good stuff. And then from there, going to work, especially during off season because I was still doing lessons and everything like that. And then right when lessons were done at night, 9 a.m. to about 10, I'm hitting again. So it's like being able to get my body adapted to whenever I'm getting ready to go play. At this time, my body will be ready. Whenever I'm getting ready to go play at this time, my body will be ready and I won't have any worries about that. So being able to understand like, okay, during the off season, what are we doing to get ready for the season? Because you should know what your season should look like. Because with high school, now let's get it in season. You should be hitting at least 5 days a week. I say 2 days off because again, look at what the schedule's looking like with tournaments, with games, with practices, with all these things that's going on. It's not more individualized. It's more in a team setting.
Yes.
So it's like you're not getting all the reps that you can possibly get that you should be getting in the off season.
Correct.
So in season, I say 5 days a week. At least make sure that we're trying to get at least in before practice or right after practice. Nothing too crazy. Just make sure that you're getting your basics done so you can continue to get your reps in. But on top of that, we need to get quality reps, not just wasted reps, because then we're wasting time. So that's how I say, like with the hitting aspect of making sure you're at least hitting the ball. Or you ain't even got to necessarily hit the ball, if I'm really being honest. Get some med ball workouts in there. Get some med ball swings in there. Really get into like getting your body in the position where it needs to be powerfully, to where it's like, to where it's like, okay, you're still generating the power that you need to. Because again, whenever you're just swinging a bat, are you really focusing on power as well? Unless you're swinging a weighted bat, unless you're hitting weighted balls or something like that. But how common are you really doing that? They're in season, not really common.
Not much.
But it's like understanding, okay, well, you can incorporate some med ball workouts in there to still generate that power and quickness that you need within your hips, within your lower half, within your upper body, whatever the case may be, to still generate what you're trying to receive throughout the season, which is power, maintaining your power, maintaining your exit velocity, and things like that to help you get through the season without having to overdo anything.
I could agree more because team practice is not enough.
No.
I tell that to kids all the time. I mean, it irritates me and Jordan whenever kids come up to us and they tell us baseball is the only sport they play and they hit twice a week.
Oh,
I'm like,
Jesus.
dude, come on. Like, if you're not hitting 5 days a week minimum, like, are you trying to get better at your craft? The answer is no. You know what I mean?
No,
and especially in
you're not.
off season, especially for the older kids, right? It's like your body also has to get adapted to lifting weights.
Yes.
So you want to kind of, you want to make sure that you're pliable and that you're athletic and that you're not just getting too stiff. So that's why, is that the main reason why you hit twice a day as well, is to adapt to that weightlifting?
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing too. Like with the weightlifting on top of that, you got to understand. Like, okay, off season, upper body days, lower body days, you can really hit that hard because your soreness in off season isn't going to affect you in the in season.
Correct.
But when you're in season, I say full body workouts because, again, nothing too crazy. You're getting your full body workout to where, okay, you're getting your hips, you're getting your legs, you're getting your upper body, you're getting all that going just to maintain. Because, again, in my opinion, you shouldn't be working out 5 days a week, heavy, crazy with weights when you're in season.
No.
That's just nuts to me. But understanding that you still need to get something done, whether that's stretching, whether that's some little light workout, light full body workout of a little bit of bench press, more reps, less sets. More reps, less sets. Stuff like that to where, like with squats too, like nothing crazy, but you're getting your body moving. I say more explosive movements during in season.
Yes.
Than off season. Off season, you're more on power. You're working on powerful movements. You're working on slower movements. But in season, we got to get the ball rolling. We got to be moving quick. We got to be able to move fast and quick and how we need to. Because again, what do we want to be doing in season anyway? Moving fast and quick. That's the whole purpose. Because again, whenever you get to those games, scouts are looking for quickness, speed, power, consistency, all that stuff. And if your body isn't ready to go to achieve that, you're only hurting yourself.
So in season for weightlifting, would you recommend like 3 full body days in the weight room and then like also add in some speed agility work, quickness?
Yeah, like especially I would say 2 to 3 full body. Now again, with me, like training those kids that are in high school right now, I can't really focus too much on the weightlifting because they're already doing that at school. So I'm not going to overdo that because, again, that's going to cause risk of injury pretty much. So it's like I can't put my kids in that. But what I can do is I can put them in heavy med balls because, again, what are you doing anyway? Swinging. So it's like I can do that. Or I can make sure that we get like those little water things. I don't know what they're called.
Dude, yeah, I see you use those.
Yeah.
Why do you use the water things for those listeners out there?
So the reason why I use those is because, again, it definitely, how can I put it? It definitely opens up the brain of something new and something different to what the body needs. Because, again, with our swing, you can definitely feel when something's wrong when you're swinging that water. Because, again, if you don't have balance, if you don't have control, if you don't have strength, that water little thing's going to swing you all around. And I've seen that happen to kids. Now, what it made sure to focus on was their strength, their lower half, their balance and control. And once they got that, their swing got tremendously better. So that's why I say like that med ball stuff, that little water jug thing that you swing and stuff like that can definitely override just swinging and batting the ball. So it's like being able to understand, okay, this is something that you're using. This is something that you have. Use it the best of your ability. Make sure that you're still using the right movements because, again, that's where people fail at too. They use those med balls. They use those the water jug balls or whatever, and they're using the wrong movements with it. So it's like, are you really helping yourself or are you worsening yourself? Because, again, I don't see kids swinging the bat leaning all the way forward. whenever they're doing with the med balls accidentally. So it's like now you're creating bad habits of leaning too far forward, drifting forward in your swing, which is where, again, the coach comes in, of making sure that you understand that's not how it's supposed to happen. You're still supposed to stay in your normal swing stance, but now you're using the med ball. So it's like being able to use those things throughout the week and be able to help you continue to maintain the strength, the power, everything that you're trying to maintain throughout that week to continuously get better for games. I definitely recommend for sure.
I like that. I like that a lot. And man, I know we've been talking a lot about like mechanics and things of that nature. How important is approach, and how has your approach changed as a hitter, as a ball player, from like high school to the professional level? And what have you learned at the highest pro level on like what your approach should be in the batter's box, maybe even prior to the games?
For me, easy way to put it, keep things simple. I feel like it's easier said than done. It sure enough is. But when we really sit down and think about that and understand that when we're in a calmer state of mind, when we're in a more relaxed state of mind, because again, one of my problems was this past season was I had a lot of anxiety in the box. I was overthinking, I was overdoing, overfeeling. I'm like all over the freaking place. Yeah. And it's like, okay, is this helping me or is this affecting me? And so I'm like, okay, well, took some time off. Whenever I was hurt, again, you got to take your time off when you're hurt, to actually sit down and think like, man, I'm hurting myself a lot more by overthinking this instead of just keeping things simple, going out there and just playing the ball, playing the sport that we've been playing since we were 3 years old, 4 years old. And I literally had a video out saying, what happened to that mindset of whenever you were 6, 7, just hit the ball hard? What happened to that? What happened to just see ball, hit ball? What happened to that mindset? Now, again, I know as you get older, it's going to get a little more developed, which is perfectly fine because you're getting older, you're getting more mature. You're going to understand that stuff. You have to understand that stuff. But does it have to be that big of a difference? No. Because, again, I have certain kids, when I literally have them in my cage, before they can even say anything, I see their reaction, and I'm like, hey, stop overthinking. And they look at me like, like, how'd you know what I was thinking? I'm like, dude, I've been there. I've done that. Yeah. And it's like, it's not going to help you. But if you understand this now, it's only going to be better for the long run. So, on top of that, now I can't say this though. Let's put this out there. Yeah. Parents. I'm on this camera right here.
Yeah,
this one?
You're on that one.
Parents. Relax. Your child is going to get better at their pace. It is up to them to want to get better at their pace. If they have you in their ear, pushing them, nagging at them, wanting to like hone in on everything that they're doing, they're not going to have any more fun. That's where the overthinking comes. Because now it's like, if I don't swing at this pitch or if I strike out, my dad or my mom will get on my ass.
If it were up to me, dude, I would put all the parents in a separate like room.
Oh man!
During lessons and be like, hey, you're not allowed to be out here.
I would love
this is
that.
the parent like a daycare for parents. Like, go take care of your work stuff. Yes. Go do other things. Yeah. Let me have this time with your child. Mm-hmm. Let them be a kid.
That's what you pay me to do.
That's what you pay me to do.
On top of that, now don't get me wrong, I have some parents who are really heavily involved. I love it. I get it. But you got to understand that sometimes it is okay to let them be them. It is okay to let them fail. It is okay to let them fail and then realize their mistake, because if you allow that to happen, that's when they get better. They won't get better with you going at them. They won't.
No.
I didn't get better that way.
No.
I got better because I wanted to get better. I wanted to actually be better for myself. When that time came about, that's when everything clicked. I didn't need any parent. I didn't need anybody to be in my ear getting on my butt. If I wanted it, I was going to go out and get it. Nobody had to say anything. Now, that's where I feel like parents go wrong. They don't allow their kids to ever get to that.
Right.
They beat it in on them to where it's like it's so embedded in their mind that that's the only thing they think about. So it's like, is it them thinking that? Is it them wanting that, the child? Or is it the parent who's been in their ear so long Now it's so brainwashed in their head. There's no other way around it. But it's not them actually wanting to do it. It's not them actually wanting to retain the information so they can go and apply it and get better.
Well, then you have the parents that are yelling like mechanical cues mid-swing, mid-at-bat at their kid during a tournament. And I'm like, come on, let them just take the L this at-bat.
Let them fail.
Let them fail.
It's okay.
It's okay. Like, focus on it next week during practice. But, like, let them fail in that moment and don't yell at them. Don't talk about it on the car ride home. It's over with. Teach them to have a short-term memory.
Boom.
And focus. Because, dude, the best ball players have short-term memories.
Exactly.
Like, and I think that's why, like, we were both able to play at a high level.
Yeah.
Is that, dude, we were able to block off the game. It already happened. We're focusing on the next game. We're focusing on the next practice.
You have to.
You have to. And some kids are more analytical than others, right? Like, Jordan's way more analytical than I am, so his approach was much different than mine was in the batter's box. And so, man, like, dive into some of the approaches that I guess you would listen to from, like, the Mike Trouts of the world, playing with the Angels, being with the big leaguers in spring training. How would, like, obviously, like, scouting reports are huge. Watching film is big at that level. But were some of the best hitters, did they have simple approaches, or were they, like, constantly studying pitchers?
Both.
Both.
So before we get into that, though, let me say this. It's something that I've been able to definitely take in with myself and teach on to my kids. I give myself until 12 a.m. that night to get over whatever just happened that day. Because, again, once 12 a.m. hits, what does it say on your phone? New day. Now it's time to focus on that new day. Let's get to that new day. And now everything that we've learned, that's what people forget. You learned from that day. You learned from that failure. You've adapted and found a way to move on. Now, like I say, beat yourself up for that day.
For sure.
The individual, child, though, the kid. Beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Beat yourself up. Get on yourself. Do whatever you got to do to get it out. Now, once that 12 a.m. hits, it's done. It is over. It is done. You're not talking about it. You're not going over it. It's over. Because the next day is the most important thing now. That's where your focus needs to be, getting prepared and get ready to go for that day. Especially with pro ball, because you're playing every single freaking day. You don't have time to hone in on something. That's why I say That's why I say football and everything like that is a little bit easier on people, because you have from Sunday to Sunday to get over something. So that's freaking amazing. Now, again, okay, let's go back to baseball. Starting pitchers. Tremendous jobs, because they can suck one day, got about 4 days to get over it, do what you got to do, and then keep moving. Right. And that's where I go with that. But on top of that, like with the approaches and everything with the big leaguers and stuff like that, so when I was with the Angels, of course, Mike Trout was always the biggest guy there, biggest influential guy there. He had a saying, I don't exactly remember what it was, but me being me, I made it into my own. So he had something of go to the box, be confident, hit the ball, something like that. Simple, right? Nothing crazy. I went ahead and turned that into, okay, let me create my approach. So what I did was, I don't care. They had clipboards for us. So after every at bat, we had to come back in the dugout. This was literally school, man. This was kind of frustrating me a little bit. Yeah. But it was literally school. Like, I'm just getting done with an at bat, and I got to come in and write where the strike was that I just got struck out on. That is frustrating as a hitter. Right. So it was like witnessing that. I'm like, oh my God, this is frustrating. So I'm like, well, we had to do it anyway. It was a requirement or whatever. So we had to do that. So I'm like, whatever, just do it, get it over with, whatever. So again, that also pushed me to get better with my at-bats too. Because it's like, if I wanted to come back in and write over this, I wanted to be excited about me writing on this paper about what I just did. Yes. Now, again, even though I struck out, I'd rather strike out on a great pitch, me swinging and missing, like, oh, I just missed that. But if I would have caught it, probably would have went for a bomb, probably would have went for a double, But how I moved that over into my personal approach was, let's focus on hitting strikes hard forward. I don't care what strike it is. I don't care what pitch it is. I don't care what comes my way. Mm-hmm. I'm just focused on hitting a strike in the strike zone hard as possible forward in fair play. I don't care where it goes. I don't care if it goes right down the line. I don't care if it hits the dirt and pops over the infielder's head. I don't care if it hits so hard that it pops out the infielder's glove. I hit it hard. I hit a strike. That's all I got to do. And then let the ball do what it need to do. And then I just control what I can control. That's what I was able to do as far as changing my approach into something that I was able to hone into. Because, again, my biggest thing was I'm a all-around guy. Yeah, I can hit for power. I can hit for contact. I can hit for this, and that. But I can also get some balls out of the zone for base hits, which I was really good at for a certain period of time. So say, for instance, I get down the count and I get a slider. Like, my ratio for sliders this year was really, really high because, again, if you throw a slider, like, I was on that pitch. And that's what the numbers showed. So, again, I started to see a lot more different stuff because, again, they read on that. They picked up on that. So it was like being able to see that, okay, well, I still got to stick to my approach. Again, it doesn't matter what pitch is coming. I need to be on time and do my best to hit it hard forward. And, again, that kept it extremely, extremely simple for me and kept my mind at the plate very simple. Because, again, now I already know what I'm trying to do. I already know what my timing is. I already know all those things, again, came in the off season because I've already worked on that. I don't have to think about that. That's muscle memory that was created in the off season.
Right.
Built for the in season. So I'm already done with all that. Now my focus is I'm about to terrorize this pitcher the best way I possibly can. I'm about to make him understand that, hey, when I come up to a bat, I'm going to be your hardest at bat. I'm going to do my way possible. Now, if you strike me out 3 straight pitches, hey, kudos to you. I'm coming back, though. Don't forget.
don't you dare forget it.
I'm coming back.
With the vengeance.
So it's like just understanding, like, that was the only thing that was going on in my mind was competing. Because I already knew my approach. My approach never changed because if I tried to change it, it was going to hurt me. And I couldn't do that because, again, this is me. I don't care what the pitcher has. He's again, it's a fastball, curveball, changeup, whatever he has, it's going to do something to get back in that zone. I got to be ready for it. At the end of the day, keeping it simple for me was something that allowed me to lose that anxiety that I had at the plate.
Yes.
So it was like being able to, okay, now I'm looking at the pitcher like, okay, I'm in a battle. I'm about to try to knock your head off. But I got to still focus in on what I got to do. I can't overdo it. I can't get into my head too much. So it's like being able to keep the approach simple. Then on top of that, being in the mindset of I am better than you, that's what was allowing me to be able to get through those. So approach-wise, that definitely helped me continue to keep my mindset at sane and being allowed to be at peace when I'm in the box and not overstress about nothing. I don't care if you have a 100-mile-per-hour fastball coming my way, just don't hit me.
Right.
We'll be good. But I'm going to do my best to compete and try to get a hit off of you. Simple.
Man, that's gold right there. Man, Dre, I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. We're going to get you back on. Your wealth of knowledge, I really appreciate you reaching out to these younger kids, mentoring them like you do, and keep doing what you're doing, man. You're on to great things. I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother.
5, 4, 3, 2.